the Saudi Crown Prince unveiled a massive new development initiative that will serve as a model for the future of his nation and the whole planet. The kingdom will soon begin constructing a metropolis that will span a single, 100-mile-long line. The Saudi Arabian government has a wider development scheme, including the linear city. The oil sector, which has traditionally supported the development and helped Saudi Arabia rank as the 18th biggest economy in the world by gross domestic product, is a major contributor to the country's economy. The second largest oil reserves on Earth are in Saudi Arabia. Hello, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today, we will talk about how Saudi Arabia will build a new linear city. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get notifications about our upcoming latest video. Let's start. Saudi Arabia is spending heavily on massive infrastructure projects, education, scientific research, the healthcare system, and the tourist industry as part of the Saudi Vision 2030 plan. The objective is to open the door for new businesses where future technologies, like renewable energy, will take center stage. And the nations of the Arabian Peninsula are beginning ambitious future initiatives due to this development. Even if the scope and goals of these projects vary from one another, they all have in common structural investments intended to broaden the regional economy into other regions. Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 program was unveiled in April 2016. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the son of Saudi Arabia's monarch King Salman, is pushing the project forward. Despite holding the positions of Crown Prince and Minister of Defense, bin Salman is already considered the nation's de facto ruler. The Lion City is a part of what may be the largest initiative in the greater effort that bin Salman Neom started. In Saudi Arabia's Forbidden Province, Neom is being constructed. The government has established a new city zone here. The streets of Tehran link the city to the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aqaba. Sharm el-Sheikh is located on the other side of the strait. One of Egypt's most well-known and pricey coastal resorts, this city's economy is entirely focused on tourism. This achievement should now be repeated in Neom on the opposing side. Egypt and Saudi Arabia have traditionally disagreed over control of the two islands. Previously under Egypt's authority, the Egyptian parliament authorized the handover of these islands to Saudi Arabia in 2017. This agreement opened the door for a bridge requested to cross the Ran Strait as part of the Neom project, a causeway that would unite the two nations. Bypassing Israel would establish a land route from North Africa to the Arabian Peninsula. Since Neom was announced, the first phase of Neom Bay's development has begun, which should create the groundwork for future growth. Construction on some of the initial projects has already begun. There are certain hotel complexes and opulent residences that have been built. And in 2019, the recently constructed Neom Bay Airport was officially opened, enabling a direct link from the Saudi Arabian capital to where we live. However, the biggest initiative currently underway in the UK is not aimed at the general population. It is a sizable park complex that includes several palaces for the Saudi king, the crown prince, and several villas for other royal family members. Plans for the real city in Neom have been shown for the first time since the line's introduction earlier this year. The city will be organized on 3 levels, providing various benefits that bin Salman thinks will make it a future metropolis. There will only be a pedestrian zone on the ground floor with no vehicular traffic. Green spaces should promote leisure activities like walking. The second level needs to serve as a service level that houses retail establishments and other commercial real estates. The city's core will be on the lowest and most varied levels. From here, both people and commodities will go throughout the city. This spine links several city modules together so that all tasks and activities may be completed on foot and by public transportation. The overall arrangement is based on the idea that the Industrial Revolution led to the development of numerous modern large cities. Therefore, rather than being created for the people who live in it, we are more suited to machinery, automobiles, and industry. But it remains to be seen whether a tight line would produce a city that caters better to people's wants. As the city will only be powered by renewable energy, the line intends to lessen the need for personal vehicles and sustainably coordinate all IT services. However, artificial intelligence will also be employed to make residents' lives easier and make better use of available resources. According to their announcement, the Neom project would get $500 billion from the Saudi Arabian government. Many questions arise while thinking about this project, and there are still many unanswered details. While emphasizing green technology, the city hopes to maintain a sustainable connection with the environment. The city's layout intentionally avoids embracing natural elements like the seashore, which tends to stay unreachable wherever it is, instead forcing its way through difficult terrain. Although the linear form is intriguing, it would be amazing to view it from space. It has not yet been described how this arrangement benefits sustainability and faster transportation times despite wider distances. And even if the quirky character of this proposal is intriguing as a design study, the question of whether this arrangement would permit any naturally spreading city expansion remains in practice. However, perhaps the purpose of this idea should be to attract attention rather than any other objective. The kingdom is advertising this endeavor on the internet, cable TV, and several online instructional videos. The government is looking for investors, and the linear idea is intriguing. It should be mentioned at this point that a linear city isn't a completely original concept. For instance, in the 1880s, the Spanish urbanist Arturo Soria Mata created blueprints for linear towns. Every resident would have easy access to the nearby farms and natural surroundings, since a linear city would have a narrow form and fewer transportation lines. To enhance the balance between worldly and urban life, he worked to build a metropolis that accepted its rural surroundings. After the Soviet Union was established, Nikolai Alexandrovich Machutin, a Russian town planner, adopted this concept and partially implemented it in the towns of Volgograd and Magnitogorsk. When Brazil built its new capital at the end of the 1950s, Brasilia, the planned city, intended to represent contemporary Brazil, the designers chose a layout with a central axis along which the majority of the city runs. This concept is at least somewhat comparable to the linear city. The planned city scarcely allowed for natural expansion, despite the architect's intention to design a city that guaranteed equality and modernity via its structure. High costs along the axis led to the establishment of many satellite communities. Even today, Brasilia's city planning is debatable and is sometimes criticized for being created from above rather than from the ground up. Neom, in contrast, varies from Brasilia in a few respects, including that Neom intends to eliminate the need for vehicles, in contrast to Brasilia, which has relied significantly on automobile traffic. However, the worry about planning a city from a bird's eye view still exists because it will be interesting to see whether the actual visions of the rulers and architects will match up with the needs of the people who will live in the line, especially given that people are currently being forcibly displaced to make room for Neom. Because they are being forced to give up their houses for this prestigious project, the people who are I tribe, who reside in this region, are requesting an inquiry by the UN. The government intends to establish Neom as a free trade area with its legal and tax systems. This is done to give foreign investors a sense of security and prevent them from being discouraged by Saudi Arabia's extremely strict shoe-based legal system. Here, a strategy like the United Arab Emirates may be considered. To ensure international standards within the Dubai International Financial Center, a special economic zone, the UAE established separate English-language common law courts in 2006. Now that they can hear cases outside the economic zone, these courts offer autonomous jurisdiction over civil and business issues while keeping other United Arab Emirates laws, such as criminal law. However, it is not yet clear how the judicial system will be set up in Neom. The goal is to pique the interest of foreign investors with the promise of progressive laws and highly publicized visions. Nevertheless, it is impossible to ignore how these promises are broken and how the Saudi Arabian government behaves. Mohammed bin Salman advocates moderate reform in various spheres of society and Saudi Arabia. However, he has also been accountable for several human rights crimes, including a major wave of political activist arrests around the nation. The murder of Saudi writer Jamal Khashoggi at the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, in which the Crown Prince is allegedly responsible for investing $500 billion, has also been linked to him. If something goes wrong, it may cause the nation to become bankrupt. Yet, no one is permitted to criticize, and no one can write a critical opinion article in any publication. A year after the assassination of Jamal Khashoggi of the Washington Post, Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman still maintains that he did not authorize the killing. The Neom project and the line are a campaign to improve the Saudi government's reputation overseas. It conveys that Saudi Arabia wants to be more accessible to the foreign industry while also showing that it is now intolerable of any opposition to the country's ambitions for the Saudi Crown Prince. That's all for today. Comment below with your thoughts on what fascinates you the most about the recent building of a linear city in Saudi Arabia. Do you intend to visit this place as a tourist? Don't forget to share the video with your family and friends. We will be back with another amazing video soon. Thank you for watching.